Psychology of collecting. Who would ever think that a fun hobby would have issues and mounting psychological problems? But as of late, when a lot of you are watching other YouTubers, we're walking away distressed, freaked out by some of the things they're saying, and I thought today I would go and speak with a great sports card psychologist. Let me give you a little hint. That was him when he was younger and had hair. If you haven't guessed it by now, let me tell you, the great Dr. J. Mangini. This is not the first time he's helped me. Once when we were coming home from a card show, well, you know what? Let me just show you what happened. That was a tough situation. But you know, as tough as that may have been, I think the times we're in right now may even be harder. Thankfully, Dr. Mangini has agreed to answer 3 of my questions. Boy, what a president, what a guy. Let me read you the first question I asked him and let you see what he had to say. My first question to Dr. Mangini: why do some collectors prefer to have all their cards graded by the same company and start dry heaving at the thought of them being in different holders?
This is actually a disease called Zachley disease. It's where someone becomes overly obsessed with having all their cards look exactly the same way. It's not a big problem, but it's something we want to keep an eye on because it is a sign of obsessive compulsiveness.
Wow, thank you for that answer. This next case, which leads me into my second question, was very bizarre. I'm sure you can help us. Second question: with all the SGC talk that they could discontinue this brand in the future, it has left many hobbyists dazed, confused, and traumatized. I know a fellow collector and YouTuber whose name will go unmentioned, locked himself in his bathroom with a dozen of his best SGC cards, soiled himself, and kept repeating, "You'll never catch me." He stayed in there for several hours until his wife and kids reassured him that everything would be okay. Doctor, that's a sad case. Could you help me with that one, please?
This is a ailment that has come on more recently. I like to refer to it as Beckett's disease. You see, at one time, everyone wanted their cards in a Beckett 9.5 holder. But that has gone the way of the dodo bird, and it's just not the way it is today. Some people, many people, have a hard time accepting change. And they especially have a hard time accepting change when it comes to the holders that their cards are in. I know of one patient I had out in California, and he had a real problem accepting kaboomies in his life because the change is hard.
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you for bringing clarity to that. I hope you can bring clarity to my final question as well. This last gentleman, strange case. He got his son's stick horse, mounted it loaded up all his cards, his centered cards, in a backpack, started galloping around his yard, and the police had to come. And he tried to clear a 6-foot fence, fell down, got hurt. They brought him to his senses and reassured him that no one was going to take his centered cards. What is happening to this hobby? This is hitting home for me, because my last question is this. Why the obsession over cards being perfectly, fanatically centered? Why, if a card is not centered, will these collectors pass on these pieces of beautiful cardboard? Could you bring your wisdom and insight on this pandemic?
This is actually a newer ailment that really we just learned about 2 years ago. It made its way around YouTube and it was brought to light. It's a disease that really stemmed from Hawaii. It's called officially Palomalu disease. However, the street name, or the more common term most people are familiar with, is the double D disease. You see, there was a YouTuber who was pushing centering over and over and over and over again on YouTube until it caught on with the masses. And now centering has become this disease that is very hard for people to overcome, no matter how nice the card is otherwise.
Thank you, Dr. Mangini. On behalf of the entire vintage card community, we're in debt to you. I feel much lighter. You know, I feel so light that after I visit a good sports card psychologist, you know what I like to do? I like to show baseball cards. Matter of fact, I want to show the one that you and I got away with, the Cobb E95 Philadelphia Caramel. What a beauty. On behalf of Dr. Mangini and I, we gots to go. Let me show you this up front. 116-year-old Philadelphia Caramel Cobb E95. I've been wanting this card for a very long time. Wow. Feels good to get it. Glad to be adding this to my vintage collection. Join us next time on Classy Sports Cards.
These card collectors are nuts. I should have gone to dental school instead.